buddy.
Well, good
all right. We talked about he looks good, remember? The late game last night, Cowboys hosting the Cardinals, and this was all Arizona from the word go. Ezekiel Elliott fumbled twice in the first half, paving the way for the Cardinals to jump out to a 21-0 lead before the break. Andy Dalton threw 2 second-half interceptions, and that killed any chance of a comeback. Your Dallas Cowboys dropping to 2-4. Here's Ezekiel Elliott on what went wrong.
Honestly, I don't think it really was much of what they did. I think it was me. I'm supposed to be a guy this team can rely on. I'm supposed to be a guy that this team can lean on when times get rough, and I just wasn't that today. I got us started off to a terrible start. The defense they were playing well, but I killed our momentum. 2 fumbles. I can't do that. I can't.
All right, so Brandon, let me start with you. The Cowboys, they turned the ball over 4 times. They lose the game. They're still in first place, though, in the NFC East. You think Zeke and Dalton together can still carry this team to the playoffs?
Look, let's be honest. They stink. They absolutely stink.
Thank you.
I mean, can they? Yes, but I don't think they get it done. You know, week 1, we came in here and we had a segment about overreactions, and I said, look, we can't overreact on the Dallas Cowboys. The 2 things that they need to clean up is eliminating the big play and also not turning the ball over. I said, come week 4, week 5, these trends become who they are, their identity. And they showed us last night exactly who they are. Ezekiel Elliott turning it over twice last night. That's 5 on the season. That's 3 more than any other running back this year. You are counting on this guy to lead the way, and he hasn't done that. They can't stop anybody on defense. They continue to turn the ball over. I said it before. Ball security is job security, yours and mine. Okay, let me say that one more time. Ball security is job security, yours and mine, because it's that important. If you turn the ball over, people get fired. Point blank, period. That's it. So for that reason, they're out of it. When they face the Philadelphia Eagles head-to-head, I believe the Philadelphia Eagles beat them twice, and they win a division.
All right, so I'm not going to say the Cowboys can't or won't win the division. I am going to say this. I don't care if they win the division.
Oh.
They're awful. This is a terrible team. The NFL does this mind meld thing with acting like winning the division is inherently great. Usually it is. Sometimes it's not. There's 8 divisions in the NFL. In 6 of them, the Cowboys would be in 4th or 5th place. The NFC West, they're worse than all the teams in it. They'd be worse than last place. You'd have to create a place for them because it's 4-team divisions. The Cowboys just happen to fortunately be in a division where one team starts, Danny drops, the other team is rebuilding in Washington, and Philadelphia has had their entire team, except for their center and their quarterback, knocked out due to injury. So Dallas limping along, dropping balls on the ground, having the worst turnover margin, the most turnovers, and the worst defense in football. They're like, well, we're still in the hunt. 6 wins probably gets it done. That is not something to be congratulated about. Dalton looked a hell of a lot like Andy Dalton tends to look, except for the one magical season. Zeke, I've never seen it before, Wilds, has the yips as a running back. The last time I can remember something like this is Tiki Barber, but then Tiki changed the way he held the ball, but it didn't come out of nowhere with Tiki. And you got your highest paid guys no-showing. DeMarcus Lawrence, no-show. Amari Cooper, no-show until garbage time. I mean, everything about this team right now screams a bad, irrelevant football team. But they're the nation's most popular team, and they happen to play in a division that right now would struggle to win the SEC West. So because of that, we discuss them. But they're a bad team. Sure, they can win the NFC East. Congrats. You'll get 30-balled in the first round of the playoffs by a good team, the best wild card team in the NFC, and you'll be done.
Don't you view these mistakes, though, just to play devil's advocate, Jenna, don't you view these mistakes as one-off mistakes, though? Like Zeke couldn't hold on to the ball. Like, all right, he kind of just gave the second one up. That is not a systemic
But
issue.
a couple weeks ago, he was
I used to think that.
Just stand by. Michael Gallup, the ball bounced out. Like, he can catch the ball. He can. The second interception that Andy Dalton threw, I like to think it's karmic retribution for the wet Nerf ball that he threw in the first quarter. But that was obviously a pass interference. So I think if there's any silver lining here, it's that these mistakes are very easily fixable. I'm going to talk about the defense. Defense played all right. But there's tiny mistakes. They got to catch the ball, got to hold on to the ball. All right, and get a good call, and the game's different.
I could buy that these are one-off mistakes. Let me go into your lane a bit, Wilds, the analogy world. Right when I moved to New York City, within 3 weeks, my beloved, wonderful, amazing wife got in a little fender bender. I was like, it's New York. It's her first time driving. It's not going to happen again. We'd been here 3 months, and it happened 2 more times. And I was like, oh, this might be a problem. I can't just say this is a one-off. If we're averaging 1 fender bender a month, maybe driving in New York City is going to be a little tougher. We're now a third of the way through the season. And Brandon, every week it's turnovers. Every week it's turnovers, and every week some receiver is running butt naked open down the field for a touchdown. So this is just who you are.
That's right.
I mean, at this point, Jenna, this just is who the Cowboys are, Jenna.
So, all right, so Brandon, if you look at this team, what they've done wrong on defense, and after last night, what they've done wrong on offense, are you more worried about what they're doing offensively or defensively?
Defensively, 100%. You got to start there. I mean, when you don't have good players, you can't win games. Offensively, they're really good, actually. They just turn the ball over. I know you're talking about Andy Dalton. Can he get in the rhythm? Can he not get in the rhythm? Is he good? Is he not good? We had one magical year. But Andy Dalton with those weapons can get it done. Just don't turn the ball over, okay? Those are things that you can control. On the other side of the ball, you can't control having bad players. They don't have guys that can do this, run the simplest of defenses, cover 3 quarters. They don't understand the responsibilities. And then obviously there's still effort issues. I saw a few plays last night where guys looked like they were literally running in quicksand. I don't know if they're out of shape or if they're just not trying. But this is bad.
You know what my favorite part of the game, though, was, Nick? At the end of the first half, when there was a skirmish, and the broadcasters are using this as a highlight for the Cowboys, even though once we saw the replay, it's actually the Cowboys guy getting pancaked. So, and it was really like, you know what? This is the fire we need to see. Like, oh boy, you know you're in a bad spot when the highlight of the game is a special team skirmish that you probably lost.
Well, and it's just the Cowboys every week have multiple mistakes that would be, for a normal team, the single back-breaking mistake that flipped the game. And by that I mean, like, your team's playing well and your running back fumbles. Well, that happens every week now. Michael Gallup is wide open in the end zone before halftime to make it a game, and the ball bounces off his hands. Like, if just one of those things happened to the Pittsburgh Steelers in a game, we'd say, well, that was the turning point. They were playing well, but that was the turning point. But it happens every week to the Cowboys, multiple times, Jenna, which is why they're down, except for week 1, they're down double digits every single week in the first half.
They're playing catch up.
Every week, it's like Cowboys are down 14. Okay, maybe they'll start playing. They're terrible.
Guess what? Guess what, Nick? They're still leading the division. What? They're still leading the division.
I don't care.
How much of a division?
I don't care.
All right. Well, if it's time to panic in Dallas, do we feel the same way about the Patriots after their terrible loss to the Broncos on Sunday? Next, first things first. It's a good story.